If you've clicked on this video today, the divine has a message for you. And the reason that I know that, and that is a bold statement, is because a long time ago, I asked in my mind, I said, if you teach me, I promise that I will pass it on. I will, whatever I learn spiritually, whatever you share with me, I will pass on to others. And it kind of like, it sounds as though I was bartering. I wasn't. It feels also a bit like an agreement, which is not something that you can do with God. God either gives or doesn't, depending on what the divine wants. But this is the sort of state of mind that I was in at the time. And to be honest, it is still how I operate now. Everything that I learn, when I learn a lesson in life or when I have a download in meditation or whatever it may be, it's my job to share it. And actually, in the sharing of it, I often learn more about it. And naturally, as you give, providing you give from a pure place, a place of actually wanting to help others rather than just out of duty, I receive anyway. You know, there's a phrase, as you give, so you shall receive, and I think it's so true. So I'm at an ashram at the minute in India, and I was asking the divine, I need some help, because what I'm finding is that when I leave the ashram, I'm having a lot of beggars come up to me. I stand out like a sore thumb. And I didn't know how to behave or respond to this because, you know, there's part of me that's like, is this genuine? Are they, you know, sort of making a mockery of me? Do they really need it? Are they going to use it for like alcohol or all of this sort of stuff? And I observed it. I knew that it wasn't me, this part of me, but I equally wanted to observe it to see if there was any utility in it, any actual use in it. And I can then discriminate between that side of my mind and then the other side, which is like, just give. Don't worry about, you know, what their position is or whether they're good, bad, using it for good uses or whatever. Just give. And so I was having this kind of conundrum go up. I'm going to put this on. There's a van coming, so I'll put it on noise cancelling. So I was having this kind of conundrum, and so I said a few prayers to the divine. I said, I really need some guidance. This situation is happening, and I honestly just don't know what the right thing to do is. I don't know whether I should be giving. I don't know whether I should be giving a little bit, whether I shouldn't be giving at all because they're not genuine. Please can you assist me? And I was getting loads of little signs after that. There was loads of little messages and things coming up. And I went into meditation one day. Wait for this van to pass. I went into meditation and I was sitting there and meditating, and I suddenly had a vision of my mum as a beggar. It came clear as day, and she had a really sad face. And I thought, oh, you know, that really, you know, was a low blow. It was to me a message of, you would give to your mum. If this was the divine dressed up asking for help, you would give to the divine, wouldn't you? But now, because it's in your perception of it, someone different, you're not willing to give anymore, or you're questioning whether you should give. So there's this duality, you know, oh, this person's close to me, but this person isn't. This person is someone that I really like, and this person is not close to me, I don't know them. So all of this kind of was bubbling up to the surface and giving me lots to think about. And then that evening I was walking down the road, and as what typically seems to happen to me, a beggar came over. And so I thought, well, what have I got? And I put my hand into my pocket and I got out some coins and I said, here you go, have these. And they asked for a bit more, and I said no, whether that's right or not. I think there's always a part of me that feels like it's being mugged off. So I'm aware of that. So I gave what I could in that moment. And then later on that day, I was reading through some Sai Baba books because I've bought quite a lot. And there was one sort of quote within the book that basically alluded to, if rather than giving coins, give the people what they need or what they can use to better themselves, rather than just giving them money and not really thinking about it and having no sort of thought about it, and it being a gesture of, get this person out of my way, take this money, rather than like, I want to help you, I want you to be in a better position. Actually help them a bit more. Maybe buy them food. I think it said that in the thing, buy them food or show them how they can make more money, basically. Well, I'm not in a position to start giving life lessons and stuff like that. So I gave them money, read that message and thought, okay, I'm still not right here. I'm still not on the right track. So but I know now what is the right track to give money potentially. So then I was walking along the next day, which is today, which is when I wasn't going to make this video, but I thought I'll put my camera in my bag anyway, and then if I feel inspired, I'll make it. And then this happened, and now I'm here making this video. So it was obviously meant to be. The divine keeps wanting me to make these videos even if I don't feel like it. So I was walking along, and one beggar came up, and then another, and they said, "I don't want money, I just want your food." And I thought, well, okay, I've read about this, so I can definitely do that, and I'm more than happy to give a bit. So I said, yeah, okay, what food do you want? And they said, down there, there's a shop just down the road. So I walk with them down the shop, and I must look like the Pied Piper for beggars, because there was a line of them behind me, walking behind me. And I looked back and I thought, well, you know, money, everything here is so cheap. It's the equivalent of a couple of pounds for food that would supply them with a couple of days worth of meals. So I thought, it's okay, I can deal with that. I didn't really check how much money I had, didn't really think about it. And then we went into the shop, and they took a load of things and put it on the counter and said, oh, you know, thank you so much. And, well, they didn't say thank you so much, actually, but they put it on the counter and they looked quite happy about it. And so the guy clocked it all up, and he said that will be, I think he said like 2,000 rupees, there or thereabouts. Well, I had about 1,500 on me. So I thought, do you take card? No, I don't take card. I said, okay, what I'm going to do then, I'm going to go to the ATM, because there's an ATM just down the road. So I said, can you look after my bags, look after my stuff? And I had this camera in there, which is, you know, that would probably supply the people in that shop for a year's worth of food. And that's not me, you know, bragging, that's just how things exchange here. So I left that with them, and I kind of like, in that moment, didn't feel brilliant about leaving it, but I thought, I've got to get this money out, and he's not going to trust me if I just walk off. And these women have like got their stuff, and they're sort of walking out of the shop. So I said, okay, I'll leave this with you, I'll trust you, and I'm going to go to the ATM. So I walked down the road with the ATM, to the ATM rather, go into the ATM, put my card in, not working. Try it again, not working. Try it again, not working. And so I then go back to the shop and say, sorry, sir, but the ATM's not working. Is there another one around? And he said, yeah, there's another one down the road. So I walked down the road. And as all of this is happening, I'm not feeling angry or frustrated, but I'm almost inwardly laughing at how things are starting to develop. And part of me is thinking to myself, look, I'm doing the thing that you want me to do. I'm getting messages to serve and buy food, but you're not making this easy for me. You're making this quite difficult. And not in the grand scheme of things, not very difficult at all, but it's causing me an inconvenience, basically. And so anyway, I went to the other ATM, and there was a lady in there who seemed to be taking a lifetime, as everything seems to do when you're in a bit of a rush. There's part of my mind thinking, he's probably running away with my camera now. And there's another part of me thinking, just be chill, just be patient. So I managed to just stay patient, and I thought, what will be will be. If he runs off with my camera, I'm alive. There's nothing, it's not the end of the world. It would be a big annoyance, but it's not the end of the world. There's a fly right on my lens. Out of the way, Sonny Jim. So yeah, anyway, she took ages, 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm just stood there like this waiting for it. And then eventually she comes out, she says, it's not working. And so I went in, yeah, sure enough, on the display, out of order. So then I'm like laughing to myself thinking, this is hilarious now. So anyway, I went and found another ATM, the third ATM, get money out, get more than I need, go back into the shop, pay the guy for the bits that I bought. And the women came back, and they had only taken a few things at this point, but they came back and they said, would you mind getting us some like lentils and some other bits and bobs? So I did. I went back in, or I was in there, but I asked the guy, I said, can you get some more bits for me? So he racks it all up, puts it on the counter, and he says, how much is it? I say, how much is it? And he tells me how much it is, 3,000 rupees near enough, which is exactly what I got out. So I give him all of my money, and the women, very happy now, walk off with all their food. And the lesson in it, there's two things. The lesson one is that there was a part of me, and I'm not saying I'm proud of this, I'm not saying this is right, but I observed this part of me, and I didn't become this part of me, but I noticed this part of me rise up, which is an important distinction. There was a part of me that said, I wonder how much they're going to thank me for this. I wonder how much they're going to praise me or show gratitude for me doing this. And as soon as I noticed that, I thought, no, I'm not allowing that type of thought in. But it was there. And the second part of me noticed that I asked the divine how I could serve. And part of me wanted me to be able to serve in a very easy way. But what I, at that time, wasn't ready to accept was that service does not mean an easy ride. Service doesn't mean at your convenience. Service means you give and you do what is needed, and you want nothing for that. You just give. And if it takes you longer, you just give. If it's inconvenient, you give. If it's inconvenient, great. It's enabling you to grow. It's providing fertile soil for impatience to rise, for frustration to rise, for doubt, for all of these areas of ourselves that we conceal. But when we start asking the divine to teach us, the divine will create situations for these to rise up. And it's up to us then to either be the observer and notice and say, no, I'm not buying into that, or we fall into it and we learn again. So that's the lesson that I wanted to share about service. And I think it's important that you hear it. As I say, I wasn't going to make this video, but I felt compelled to, so there you go. If you're interested in being part of a school that teaches you more about meditation and spirituality, I'll leave a link to my school in the description. Feel free to join us. But I'm putting out loads of videos at the minute because I've got more time. And if you're a spiritual seeker, if you wanted to learn more about this inner path and connecting more with the divine, feel free to just rummage through my videos. I'm putting out more every day, so I hope you enjoy it, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Thanks so much.